Chapter 27. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, When a man shall clearly utter a vow of persons unto the Lord, according to your valuation, then your valuation shall be for the male from 20 years old even unto 60 years old. Even your valuation shall be 50 shekels of silver, after the shekel of the sanctuary. And if it be a female, then your valuation shall be 30 shekels. And if it be from 5 years old even unto 20 years old, then your valuation shall be for the male 20 shekels, and for the female 10 shekels. And if it be from a month old even unto 5 years old, then your valuation shall be for the male 5 shekels of silver, and for the female your valuation shall be 3 shekels of silver. And if it be from 60 years old and upward, if it be for a male, then your valuation shall be 15 shekels, and for the female 10 shekels. But if he be too poor for your valuation, then he shall be set before the priest, and the priest shall value him. According to the means of him that vowed shall the priest value him. And if it be a beast, whereof men bring an offering unto the Lord, all that any man gives of such unto the Lord shall be holy. He shall not alter it, nor change it, good for a bad, or a bad for a good. And if he shall at all change beast for beast, then both it and that for which it is changed shall be holy. And if it be any unclean beast of which they may not bring an offering unto the Lord, then he shall set the beast before the priest, and the priest shall value it, whether it be good or bad. As you the priest valuest it, so shall it be. But if he will indeed redeem it, then he shall add the 5th part thereof unto your valuation. And when a man shall sanctify his house to be holy unto the Lord, then the priest shall value it, whether it be good or bad. As the priest shall value it, so shall it stand. And if he that sanctified it will redeem his house, then he shall add the 5th part of the money of your valuation unto it. It shall be his. And if a man shall sanctify unto the Lord part of the field of his possession, then your valuation shall be according to the sowing thereof. The sowing of a homer of barley shall be valued at 50 shekels of silver. And if he sanctify his field from the year of Jubilee, according to your valuation shall it stand. But if he sanctify his field after Jubilee, then the priest shall reckon unto him the money, according to the years that remain unto the year of Jubilee. An abatement shall be made from your valuation. And if he that sanctified the field will indeed redeem it, then he shall add the 5th part of the money of your valuation unto it, and it shall be assured to him. And if he will not redeem the field, or if he have sold the field to another man, it shall not be redeemed any more. But the field, when he goes out in the Jubilee, shall be holy unto the Lord. As a field devoted, the possession thereof shall be the priest's. And if he sanctify unto the Lord a field, which he hath bought, which is not of the field of his possession, then the priest shall reckon unto him the worth of your valuation unto the year of Jubilee, and he shall give your valuation in that day as a holy thing unto the Lord. In the year of Jubilee the field shall return unto him of whom it was bought, even to him to whom the possession of the land belongs. And all your valuation shall be according to the shekel of the sanctuary. 20 gerahs shall be the shekel. Howbeit the firstling among beasts, which is born as a firstling to the Lord, no man shall sanctify it, whether it be ox or sheep. It is the Lord's. And if it be of an unclean beast, then he shall ransom it according to your valuation, and shall add unto it the 5th part thereof. Or if it be not redeemed, then it shall be sold according to your valuation. Notwithstanding, no devoted thing that a man may devote unto the Lord at all that he has, whether of a man or beast, or of the field of his possession, shall be sold or redeemed. Every devoted thing is most holy unto the Lord. None devoted that may be devoted of men shall be ransomed. He shall surely be put to death. And all the tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land or of the fruit of the tree, is the Lord's. It is holy unto the Lord. And if a man will redeem aught of his tithe, he shall add unto it the 5th part thereof. And all the tithe of the herd or the flock, whatsoever passes under the rod, the 10th shall be holy unto the Lord. He shall not inquire whether it be good or bad, neither shall he change it. And if he change it at all, then both it and that for which it was changed shall be holy. It shall not be redeemed. These are the commandments which the Lord commanded Moses for the children of Israel in Mount Sinai. All right, let's go back up to verse 1. We're going to continue. Once again, we are continuing the book of Leviticus. We're going to finish the book of Leviticus today. In the last chapter, the Lord had commanded, you shall make no idols. An idol is just simply anything, period. It's anything that you might give some worship to. God says you don't make things to worship. Hashem, if you want to worship something, we shall worship Hashem, the name. He is the Lord. There is no other lords. Men are not lords. They're men. As we'll soon find out in the course of time, as God makes example, you're men, and that's what you'll always be, part of the Lord's creation. But we had the law of these statutes, these commandments the Lord has given you, that you will walk in these statutes, stay in them, and basically the insinuation there, you shall not stray from the understanding the Lord has given you. Of course, He placed that in your heart from the beginning. But then if you'll do these things, the Lord promises to bless you, chase off your enemies, get rid of all the misery, get rid of your lack. But if you don't, well, He promises you can have all of that. You can have your misery, you can have your lack, you can have your war, you can have all this thing that you desire, because to not do is to wish for the opposite of the blessing. So we want the good out of life. We want those things to turn out just like Hashem wanted them to be in the beginning, and that was perfect. The Lord was perfect. His creation was perfect in the beginning. We don't want to be the ones to foul it up. We're going to pick this up in chapter 27 at verse 1. And the Lord spoke unto Moses, saying, so once again, Hashem speaking unto the one that's drawn out, the one whom He rescued or saved. 2, speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when a man shall clearly utter a vow of persons unto the Lord, according to your valuation. So, once again, these words are for the children. That's all those that come forth from Israel. We're talking about all 12 tribes, not just one. Even though the one is made of many, we're not talking about those. We're talking about everybody that's been in the dispersias since the beginning, even in the period of Judges. If anybody utters, speaks a vow of persons, and that's a promise of a living creature, or of a living person unto the Lord, we're going to find out the Lord's going to give the evaluation of the ability to estimate the value of this over to the priest. 3, then your evaluation shall be for the male from 20 years old even unto 60 years old. Even your valuation shall be 50 shekels of silver after the shekel of the sanctuary. So then your valuation, this estimate, you might say, or the value of it that's going to be placed upon it, the price tag, you might say, shall be for the male from 20 years and up old. A male is the one who's going to carry on the shem, or the presence of this, or the name, you might say. He's from 20 years old and upwards. 20, we can witness the law here, these greater understandings even from old. We'll find out this is for any promise made, the value is going to be placed on it. There's going to be a value placed on these things, which you utter a vow unto the Lord. Of course, when you utter it clearly, somebody else hears you, and it's known that you have made the vow. 60 years, and from 60 years old and upwards, because we'll find out the work of man and the law are the greater understandings of old as well. These that you're going to have to pay for what you said or what you've done. The valuation, the price of it, shall be 50 shekels of silver. There's going to be some grace in the law weighed out in this silver. The silver is always going to be the mistakes. Something that's passed through the fire, something we've learned from, or it's not the gold, it's the silver. It's after the shekel of the sanctuary, and that's a weight, that's a measure to set forth by the sanctuary. Of course, Hashem is going to tell them just what that is for. If it be for a female, then your valuation shall be 30 shekels. So the price for a female, of course, that's the feminine, the pleasantness, you might say. Your valuation, this price is going to be for 30 shekels. 30 completes the law in its measures. It is also dedicated. It has a purpose. And if it be from 5 years old, even to 20 years old, then your valuation shall be for a male 20 shekels, and for the female 10 shekels. And if it be, whatever it is, from 5 years old to 20, because there's grace in under these greater understandings, even unto these to the 20 years old, we can witness the law or its redemption. Then your valuation shall be for the male 20 shekels, and for the female 10 shekels. So if between the ages of 5 and 20, the price for the male is 20 shekels, and the price for the female is 10 shekels. But you're mostly talking about people here to place the value upon that which is dedicated to the Lord. And if it be from 60 years old and upward, if it be for a male, then your valuation shall be 15 shekels, and for the female 10 shekels. And if it be from 60 years old and upwards, so once you're over the age of 60 years old and upwards, if it be for a male, the price shall be 15 shekels, for the female 10 shekels. The male is going to be these 15 shekels. Of course, we find there's grace in the law in these measures, as when you are working the law in this age, references the age as being a period of maturity. The female, 10 shekels. Of course, there's the law measured out there in pleasantness, 8. But if it be too poor for your valuation, then he shall be set before the priest, and the priest shall value him. According to the means of him that vowed, shall the priest value him. So now, if he's too poor for this estimate, or too poor for this, say, price that's to be paid, he shall be set before the priest. So the priest is going to decide just what the price of him should be. Of course, he's going to have to pay that price according to the means that he vowed, or however much he's worth, however much that he has to pay, because he made that vow, and the priest shall set a value for him. 9. And if it be a beast, whereof men bring an offering unto the Lord, all that any man gives of such unto the Lord shall be holy. So if anybody brings a beast, an animal, whereof men bring these offerings unto the Lord, just to dedicate them to the Lord, to give them over, to sanctify them, say, this belongs to the Lord, do whatever you want with it, it shall be holy. 10, he shall not alter it, nor change it, a good for a bad, or a bad for a good. And if he shall at all change beast for beast, then both it and that which is changed shall be holy. So he can't alter it. He can't. Once he said it, he can't change these things, whether it's a bad or good. It doesn't matter. If he just change beast for beast, if he says, oh, well, that one's no good, I'll give you this one instead, then both of them, which he changed, shall be holy. Both of them is dedicated to the Lord. Now, 11, and if he be any unclean beast, or which they may not bring an offering unto the Lord, then he shall set the beast before the priest. So, now, if it's being an unclean beast, and you know you're not allowed to bring these things before the Lord actually said, don't try not to touch those things. Try not to come near them if you can. Because when you do, you got to wash yourself. You're unclean. But if you bring one of these, if it happens to come into the custody or a part of it, he shall set the beast before the priest, and actually it would be brought before the priest, and the priest shall place it 12, and the priest shall value it. He shall set a value to it, to cost to it, whether it be good or bad, no matter what it is, as you, the priest, values it. Whatever it's worth, so shall it be. 13. But if he will indeed redeem it, then he shall add the fifth part thereof unto your valuation. But now, if he wants to redeem that, take that back, he has to add a fifth part. Of course, there's grace in that portion. He has to add to that to redeem it, unto that valuation, unto that what it was worth, its price. 14. And when a man shall sanctify his house to be holy unto the Lord, then the priest shall value it, whether it be good or bad, as the priest shall value it, so shall it stand. So if that was part of it, if that was part of what you said, that you would sanctify it, set it aside, separate it, it's holy to the Lord, it belongs to the Lord, the priest will put a value of it. He's going to set a price on it. If it's your house, or a house that you may have, all the proceeds go, or they're given to the Lord, whether it be good or bad. No matter its value, what it's worth, it's just, here it is. As the priest shall value it, it's going to have a value put upon it, so shall it stand. And whatever it's worth, that's what it's going to be worth. We'll find out. There's the values placed on it. Depends on where it's at. It's simple as that. 15. And if he that sanctified it will redeem his house, then he shall add the fifth part of the money of your valuation unto it, and it shall be his. And if he that sanctified it will redeem it, if he wants to buy it back, to get it, obtain it, to pay the ransom on it, he shall add the fifth part of the money, that portion of grace that goes with it, to the valuation or the price that was placed on it, and it shall be his. He returns to it. And if a man shall sanctify unto the Lord part of the field of his possession, then your valuation shall be according to the sowing thereof. The sowing of a homer, barley, shall be valued at 50 shekels of silver. So if a man shall sanctify the Lord, and separate, give it unto him, becomes part of the field of his possession, that inheritance that he received, then your valuation shall be according to the sowing, according to the laws of the Jubilee, as we'll see. The crops is the value of it, and that's going to be where it terminates at that year of Jubilee. The sowing of a homer, barley, shall be valued at 50 shekels of silver. So the sowing of a homer is homer, and it's probably it's a dry measure, generally just a heap, a large amount that keeps adding up, building up. The word homer, it means bubbling, a bubbling up. But this, the weight, the value of it is going to be that which the homer will plant of barley will be the value of it. So as much, depends on how much land you have, how many homers of barley could be planted on the property. That would become the value of it. It's valued at 50 shekels of silver per homer. So that would be the price the priest would place on it. And then in order for you to redeem it, you would have to add a fifth part to that. Unless you would wait to the year of Jubilee 17. And if he sanctify his field from the year of Jubilee, according to your valuation, it shall stand. But if you sanctified it from the field of during that year of Jubilee, of course, from then on to the next year of Jubilee, that would be the valuation. 18. But if he sanctify his field after Jubilee, then the priest shall reckon unto him the money according to the years that remain unto the year of Jubilee, and an abatement shall be made from your valuation. So, but if he sanctifies it after that year of Jubilee, according then, to the numbers of years, that's going to base the value of it, or this valuation of it. And whatever numbers of years have already been, that shall be subtracted from it, so that it is a fair amount. 19. And if he that sanctified the field will indeed redeem it, then he shall add the fifth part of the money of your valuation unto it, and it shall be assured to him. And if the one that sanctified it, the one that separated, give it over to the Lord, he made the vow, will indeed redeem it, he wants it back, then he shall add the fifth part of the money of your valuation. So 1/5 portion, 5%. There's grace in that portion. The Lord allowed you to get it back. The Lord allowed you to redeem it. 20. And if he will not redeem the field, or if he has sold the field to another man, it shall not be redeemed any more. And if he doesn't want to redeem it, and or if he takes it out and sells that field to another man, it shall not be redeemed anymore. He can't get it back. 21. But the field, when it goes out in the Jubilee, shall be holy unto the Lord, as a field devoted. The possession thereof shall be the priest. But now, because it wasn't redeemed, it was sold instead. The field, when it goes out in Jubilee, that's the year of release. It was going to be released. It shall be holy unto the Lord. It's going to belong to Hashem. It's his. Its field is been devoted. It's going to stay that way. The possession thereof shall be the priest. It belongs to the priest. Because nobody redeemed it. Nobody come and paid the price for it, because it had been placed under a vow. It had been placed under sanctification. 21. That it was pure and it was going to remain that way. 22. And if he sanctify unto the Lord a field which he hath bought, which is not of the field of his possession. Now we're going to be dealing with the field that he's bought. It's not a field of his possession which he inherited, but one maybe that he's redeemed of a near kinsman. 23. The priest shall reckon unto him the worth of your valuation unto the year of Jubilee. He shall give your valuation in that day as a holy thing unto the Lord. But now, if you want to, then the priest's going to place a price according to the numbers of year unto Jubilee of the year of release. He shall set that price in that day. He shall pay that price in that day as a holy thing unto the Lord. In that understanding, you'll pay the price for that property in that day, or the redemption price. 24. In the year of Jubilee, the field shall return unto him of whom it was bought, even to him to whom the possession of the land belongs. In the year of Jubilee, the field shall return unto him of whom it was bought. So whoever he purchased it from will go back to him. According, that's under the laws of Jubilee. Even to him to whom the possession of the land belonged, to whom it belonged to under the inheritance laws. 25. Because it's the crops that are the transaction and the price of the valuation here. 25. And all your valuation shall be according to the shekel of the sanctuary. 20 gerahs shall be the shekel. And all your prices, all these estimates, all these valuations, or the values that are placed, shall be according to the shekel, or the measures of the sanctuary. And the sanctuary is that which is sanctified. It's separated. It's dedicated for a purpose, and we'll find out it's for equality. 20 gerahs shall be the shekel. 20 gerahs to witness the law. These lesser measures, or these even redemption in the lesser measures, shall be the shekel, because that's what's being weighed out is the law. 26. However, the firstling among beasts, which is born as a firstling to the Lord, no man shall sanctify it, whether it be ox or sheep, it is the Lord. So the firstborns, as we'll find out, the Lord, those belong to the Lord anyway. That was the price that was paid for the exodus from Egypt. As we'll find out, there's always a price to be paid for everything we do. 27. And if it be of an unclean beast, then he shall ransom it according to your valuation, and shall add unto it the fifth part thereof. Or if it be not redeemed, then it shall be sold according to your valuation. So, of course, we're going to get to these unclean beasts, as well as those things that the Lord said you shouldn't touch. If the part of this is in the deal, we find out that you shall ransom it according to your valuation. You shall pay the price according to whatever it's decided that price was, or the value of it, and you shall add to it the fifth part, because it's unclean. That portion of grace that will go with it shall be added to it. And if it's not redeemed, Nobody wants to pay that price. It shall be sold according to that valuation. It'll be sold somewhere in the market according to the price of it. 28. Notwithstanding, no devoted thing that a man may devote unto the Lord of all that he has, whether of a man or a beast, or of the field of his possessions, shall be sold or redeemed. Every devoted thing is most holy unto the Lord. No devoted thing, once it's become devoted, it's after that period of time is past, and it's become devoted. Nobody redeemed it. It's become devoted unto the Lord. It belongs to Hashem. Whether it's man or beast, it doesn't matter what it is. Of the field of his possession, there's a period when it becomes devoted. It shall be sold or redeemed. You can't buy it back. It's not going to be sold, except for that which is unclean. It will be sold. It's never going to be devoted. Every devoted thing is most holy. It becomes most holy unto the Lord. It's actually a possession. 29. None devoted that may be devoted of men shall be ransomed. He shall surely be put to death. And none devoted. There's nothing going to be devoted that may be devoted. These things that are allowed to be devoted unto the Lord of men, of course. These things that men may devote unto the Lord is what it be better said, shall be ransomed. You can't buy these back once they've been ransomed. It shall surely be put to death. There's no price to be paid. It's as good as dead. It should have been destroyed anyway, in most circumstances. 29. None devoted that may be devoted of men shall be ransomed. He shall surely be put to death. None devoted. None that's been devoted or become property of Hashem. The word is karem, and it's a doomed object, literally or figuratively, no matter how we look at it. It's physically, it's been captured. It's a doomed object. It's been exterminated, we might as well say. They are devoted, and that's what they have become, a devoted thing, and devoted things are just for that purpose. They are set for destruction. 30. And all the tithe of the land, whether of the seed of the land or of the fruit of the tree, is the Lord's. It is holy unto the Lord. And all the tithe, all that portion which brought unto of the land, the 10th portion, that's the portion of the law, we might say, according to the law, this 10th, as we'll see, of the fruit of the land, of the tree, it's the Lord's. All of it belongs to Hashem. It's holy unto the Lord. It's his. 31. And if a man will redeem aught of his tithe, he shall add unto it the 5th part thereof. And if you want to purchase back that portion of that tithe that belongs to the Lord already, that 10th part, then you'll have to put a 5th part with it. There'll have to be a little portion of grace with it. 32. And all the tithe of the herd or the flock, whatsoever passes under the rod, the 10th shall be holy unto the Lord. It doesn't matter. All the tithe of the herd, all this portion of the herd, this 10th part that's going to be taken from the herd or the flock, that's the greater cattle or the lesser cattle. It doesn't matter. Anything that passes under the rod, anything that's under the law, anything that's under the rule, the 10th, that's the portion in the law, shall be holy unto the Lord. It's separated according to the law. That's the way it is. It belongs to Hashem. 33. He shall not inquire whether it be good or bad, neither shall he change it. And if he change it at all, then both it and that which is changed shall be holy. It shall not be redeemed. So he shall not inquire whether it's good or bad. It's just given up. That's a 10th portion. It is taken. Is just given to the Lord. Period. You can't change it. You don't have the right to swap it out for something else. Because if you do, if you change it at all, then both it and that which is changed shall be holy. You give them both up. It's simple as that. It shall not be redeemed. You can't get it back. It's holy unto the Lord. Both are, because you can't redeem that. The 34, These are the commandments which the Lord commanded Moses for the children of Israel on the Mount Sinai. So these were the commandments, these were the instructions which the Lord Hashem commanded Moses for these children of Israel, those that face every day's adversity, life's adversity. There's a price to be paid. And once you become devoted, not unredeemed, will find out there's a period of time to pass, then you're holy. You're set for destruction and utterly be destroyed. And my friend, we don't want you in that position. As always, the instructions are to keep the ordinances and statutes of Hashem, following His law, He puts it in your heart. He instructs you as you go every day. He walks with you. We're going to move forward to Numbers chapter 1, and we hope to see you there. Turn and return.